Success Mantra. We shape future.
Hello everyone, my name is Ankita Singh and today I'm here to address you the session which from the thumbnail you might have addressed. But before that, let me tell you that I'm a teaching faculty with Success Mantra. Success Mantra is a leading CLAT preparation platform which is running from last 10 years, that is from 2010 it has been running, and since then it has given many toppers not only in the national law universities but in the leading colleges of India. So basically, now the good news for you people is that now Success Mantra has partnered itself with the Olive Board, which itself is a leading online platform for education. And now, what bar we have removed is that now the students from the different parts of the country can avail our education, can avail our education. So this was a bit of the introduction about ourselves. Now let's come back for the purpose we have gathered and we have assembled here. So what we have, I think that from the thumbnail, you people might have got the idea that what we are going to discuss in today's session. So the today's session is basically going to be on the all the anxieties the 12th board students are facing and all the distress they are going through. And to address your distress and to address all the anxieties you people are going through, we are having our topper itself. His name is Anish Gupta and he is all India ranked 17th topper, and he will address you except who else can address your distress except the topper itself. So yeah, Anish, we are how are you doing, Anish?
Yeah, ma'am, I'm doing good. I hope each of the aspirant is also doing good and in great mental space because
Okay.
that's what is needed before that.
Anish, let me tell you, we are very much delighted to have you on our platform. So the introduction I have stated, but I would be really happy if you'll give a brief introduction to our audience about yourself.
Yeah, sure. So, hello everyone. I'm Anish Gupta. I achieved a rank of 17 in that 2021 and a rank of 143 in AILET. I also qualified the Christ University entrance exam and also cleared the BLAT exam. And I'm currently studying in the National Law School, Bangalore. I look forward to interacting with you all.
Okay, congratulations first of all, Anish, on scoring such a great rank, and that is AIS 17. It's a huge achievement at this a tender age. So yeah, when I interact with people like then there is always one question which pops up in my mind, and the question is that how did you celebrate your achievement that when you got the result of CLAT 2021, and then when you got to know that you are AIR 17, then how did you celebrate your success, and along with that, with this such a huge achievement, what opportunities got opened for you? Can you just elaborate this thing a bit?
Yeah, right, ma'am. So the feeling of getting a rank so good cannot be, I think, explained in words. But yes, it was definitely a very great and pleasing experience of getting a rank of 17. I was feeling on cloud nine, and apparently, even before the result was announced, I was partying with my friends before because I had already checked the answer key and I knew that I was making the cut to NLS. Yeah, so a lot has changed since that, and I find myself in a completely new space right now, and I'm a completely changed person, I believe. So the biggest change was like a transition from the school curriculum to the college curriculum. And I found this extremely challenging also. Like in schools, getting a 95% was considered to be good, but here, passing a course without getting a repeat is considered to be a great achievement. Yeah, so there have been a lot of changes in my life, some good, some bad, but yeah, overall it's been a great experience.
Okay, so see, Anish, what I assume that when an aspirant is preparing for any of the examination, not particularly for CLAT, but any of the examination, every aspirant goes through their own share of distress or anxiety, or you can say up and down. Okay, but what main thing is this, that how that aspirant is using their strength to overcome that weakness. So can you please address our listener that how did you used your strength to overcome your weaknesses during the preparation of CLAT examination?
Right, ma'am. So I believe that every aspirant or every individual has his own set of weaknesses and strength. But the important thing is to overcome those weaknesses if you have to achieve something. So even I had my own set of weaknesses and my own set of strengths. So I believe my biggest strength was that I put in a lot of hard work, and my perseverance was something that helped me ace the exam. What During my CLAT prep, I always gave every 100% to everything I did, be it academics, be it entertainment, be it sports, be it social media. Whatever I did, my own sole focus was only on that, and that was what helped me clear the exam. So balancing things and shuffling between two things is really important, and that's a skill that you should learn about. Also, lastly, my dedication to work was another thing that helped me clear exam, because like, to come to the point straight away, the critical reasoning section of CLAT was my biggest weakness. So I never used to score above 18 or 19 out of 30. But my dedication towards it and my exclusive, like, what I used to do is I exclusively devoted time towards the critical reasoning section, and that helped me ace the critical reasoning section in CLAT, because my weakest section translated into my strongest section in CLAT, whereby I got only one question wrong and I got like 28.75 out of 30 in CLAT.
Nice.
So that was what helped me clear CLAT. And that's it. You always have to work on your weaker sections more as compared to the stronger ones. If I had been good in maths since my class one, so I knew that I could take out a little bit of time that I used to devote to maths to focus more on critical reasoning, and that helped me translate my weakness into my strengths.
Okay. So no, Anish, it's being said now that while you're into preparation, then don't indulge in some extra activities like playing or some any other extra activities. Basically parents they direct कि अरे पढ़ाई कर लो ये क्या कर रहे हो तुम this is a very crucial year of yours, or else you won't get through good colleges or something of this sort. So can you just pour some light upon it? Like, what do you think in this regard?
No, I think this is a completely redundant argument that you should focus only on CLAT and other preparation. First of all, there is a distinction between CLAT and other entrance exam like NEET or JEE, in which there is a lot of effort needed as compared to what CLAT requires. So first of all, if you are preparing for a law entrance exam, you should know that it is not as difficult as JEE or NEET, and it is not something that requires so much of effort. So I'll tell my own experience. I never deleted social media. I was always on Instagram, Snapchat, and all. I used to go to guitar classes. I used to play guitar. I also used to go to the gym. So these three were a constant in my 2 years of CLAT preparation. And I never thought that I'm wasting time. If I used to hit the gym for 2 hours, I never thought that I'm wasting time, because it was something that I gave a mock from 3 to 5, and then I used to go to the gym. So it was like after a very exhaustive session of studying, appearing for a mock for straight away 2 hours and then analyzing it. And then if I have like me time for 1.5 hours, hitting the gym, sweating it all out, releasing my anxiety, releasing my stress, that was something that I never thought about something as a distraction. And same as music. I loved music since my like childhood. I like playing guitar. So whenever after every like 1 hour, 2 hour, whenever I felt like taking a break, I used to sing. I used to sing on top of my voice. I used to play guitar, and that was like a stress buster for me. Similar for social media also. I never deleted my account. Like my not even my parents, like they never said that you should not be on social media, and neither my friends nor my coaching and all. So it was always like a part of my routine that I have to use social media for like an hour at max. Like it was divided, not 1 hour at a stretch, like 15 minutes in the morning, 15 in the afternoon, 15 in evening, and like 15 minutes before going to bed. So it was all very divided and all very structured. And Yeah, I don't think that CLAT requires so much that you should only focus on CLAT, because what CLAT requires is a fresh mind. Unless you have a fresh mind, you will not be able to comprehend passages, because like there are 30 passages if we see it in this way, like 150 questions, 30 passages. So unless you are a free mind, unless you are in the right state of mind, you will not be able to comprehend passages, and your reading speed will necessarily go down if you are constantly reading and reading and reading. So you always need to have something of sort of a stress buster, and that stress buster could be anything. Maybe a brisk walk in the evening, maybe something listening to music, maybe watching Netflix, maybe hitting the gym. It could be anything, but there should be something sort of a stress buster, I believe.
Okay, so I think listeners, you must you must listen to Anish, because he's putting so much into that. You must indulge yourself in something extra to freshen up your mind. But that does not mean that you're pouring yourself more into extra activities rather than studying. So
Yeah.
Anish, right now there should be a specific
Right.
time management, like 1 hour, 2 hours for yeah, for all these things. So yeah, the extra activity must be there, but it must not exceed
Hmm.
your preparation time, right? So yeah, do
Right.
so yeah, Anish, actually we are having one question from Santosh Prajapati, and he's asking that what is the best what is the best college for CLAT and DU LLB in India? I mean, for I think by mentioning DU LLB, he's asking for 3 year course of CLAT.
Okay, so yeah, 3 year for 3 year, I don't have much knowledge, but I think the Faculty of Law, University of Delhi is the best one still.
Mhm.
And even NLS recently launched its 3 year course, and the entrance exam was held on 24th April, like 2 days back only. So I believe once the course is launched fully, NLS would be the one for the in the like best in the business. And for CLAT, it's conspicuous only, like all the rankings tell us that the National Law School Bangalore is the best one, and following it, that is Hyderabad, and then Kolkata and all.
Which
Yeah.
is particularly there in the list of CLAT, right? From
Yeah.
the top.
Right.
Okay, from the top. So I think Santosh, you might have got your answer from Anish. Okay, so Anish, I'll interrupt you a bit in between because I need to state something for our audience. See, audience, actually, Success Mantra has partnered along with the Olive Board for to provide you people with the online CLAT preparation opportunities. Okay, this is a very like a very good authority for you people that and if you enroll yourself in the coming few days, then Success Mantra, which is partnered along with, which is powered by Olive Board, is providing you 50% discount on the CLAT preparation course, on basically the law entrance examination course. They are providing you with 50% off. And if you use Anish coupon code, then you will get 5% extra discount. And what advantage will you get is that the Anish will be your mentor all throughout the preparation preparation exam preparation course. So yeah, please go and grab this opportunity. And there's a link from where you can go and you go and see our app. And if you want to enroll, you can enroll and use Anish coupon code to get 5% extra discount. That is 50% discount you people are getting already, plus 5%, which includes your 55% discount. So just go and avail this opportunity and grab this opportunity as soon as possible, because I don't think that this topper can guide you to become next topper, right, Anish?
Right, ma'am. Guys, if you like listening to me, and like if you like my advice, please do follow Success Mantra and use my coupon code. Yeah.
In the
And
coming
yeah.
session, they will be your fan, Anish, I'm sure. Okay, so yeah,
Right.
Anish. Now here comes a question that since you became a topper in 2021, right? And that was the midst of COVID pandemic. So please, can you tell me a little bit about your CLAT preparation, and did COVID pandemic has affected your exam preparation in any way, like any way? And how did you manage your study during the COVID examination? As we know that the institute was working online and not offline. So did you face any challenges? To just to narrate me about your challenges, and how did you prepare, and how did you get through it?
Right. So, to be honest, very honest, I owe my CLAT result to the COVID pandemic. Had there been no COVID pandemic, I had not been sitting here in front of you and giving this session. So, I definitely owe all my credit to the COVID pandemic. That's the best thing that ever happened to me till CLAT. Like, because my school was very far away from my home. I used to travel like 50-kilometer daily commuting time and all to travel to the school, and then coaching, and then this and then that. So the time I saved, I utilized it for my CLAT preparation. There was no school. I used to join the classes, like online classes, and then study for CLAT simultaneously. There were no exams, online exams. Like you all know, like what happens in online exams. You don't necessarily have to study and all. So yeah, the COVID pandemic and the board exams getting cancelled. So these were the two best things during my CLAT preparation, because had the exams not been cancelled and had there been no COVID pandemic, I don't think I would be able to clear the exam. Because what happened is I have been preparing after immediately after my class 10. So I like immediately after my class 10 board exams, I knew that I had to do CLAT, and I started preparing for that. But until CLAT 2020, to tell the audience, I gave CLAT 2020 as a dummy attempt because I was still in 11th. So to judge my preparation, what I did in class 11, I gave the CLAT 2020 exam also to judge my preparation as a dummy attempt. So what happened in that is I got merely 54 marks and a rank of 7700. And this was in September 2020. And I had like hardly 10 months after that for my CLAT 2021 exam. So that was the moment I realized that I've completely wasted my 1.5 years. Like after class 10th board till September 2020, I knew that if after like 15, 16 months of preparation, I'm getting only 54 marks in CLAD and a rank of 7700, that simply means that I've wasted my like 1.5 years, and I have to do something. So that was the major turning point in my CLAD preparation. And that was the moment I realized that, yes, Anish, you have to do something. You have to make your parents proud. And last 16 months have been a sunk cost for you. Don't think about that, and look forward to the next 10 months. So that was the day I started like seriously prepping for the for my CLAT. Like people ask me how much, like for how many years did you study for CLAT? So the usual answer is 2 years. But those who know me know that for the initial 1.5 years, I completely wasted my time. CLAT 2020 was my first mock. And in my first 15 months, I only gave one mock. But in last 2-3 months of CLAT preparation, I gave 70 mocks. So that was the huge difference that came in my life after that. And so yeah, I wasn't much affected by the COVID pandemic. I was very happy that there is COVID pandemic, and I have to stay home and completely focus my time on CLAT preparation. Yeah.
I know this, the statement which you have stated right now, Anish, is I think it might be very much inspirational for those students who might have thought कि अरे मेरा तो आधा साल निकल गया अभी तो how will I prepare next, अभी तो सब चला गया है. So you can take
Yeah,
Anish
yeah.
into consideration, and yeah, you actually inspired a lot that once you have taken an oath, or once you're focused towards something, you can achieve it, and there's time is no bar in that, right? You wanted to say.
Yeah, definitely. Like I would like to add here that my major, like 80% of my CLAT preparation happened in my last 2 months. I gave 45 mocks in my last 2 months. That is like 45 mocks in 60 days. And like before my last 2 months, I only gave 10 to 15 mocks. So that 45 mocks were a huge difference in my CLAT preparation journey. And so I see a lot of people nowadays that, bro, bhaiya, I have only given 10 mocks till now and only 50 days are left. So I tell them, even if you give like one mock a day, and that is not much, like taking out 2 hours to give a mock daily is not that hard. So even if you take out 2 hours a day, that would make it 50 mocks. Leave about 50 mocks. Even if you give 30 mocks, every alternate give a mock. So you still have 30 mocks to do to give, and the experience you will gain out of those 30 mocks will be like cannot be overstated. The importance of mocks cannot be overstated at the mocks that you give just before CLAT. And people used to tell me, my like mentors and all, that don't give a mock before the day of CLAT. That would like if you score less, you will be depressed. But I was in that groove. I was in that consistent mode that I have to give a mock. So I gave a mock even before the day of CLAT. Like on 23rd July, I had the CLAT exam. Even on 22nd July, I appeared for a mock. So even though I couldn't score much in that, I knew that I am in the groove, and I am the one who is working hard for CLAT, and I'm the one who has given 70 mocks, and I'll be able to clear CLAT. So giving mocks is the only way that you can judge your preparation and know that whether you'll be able to clear CLAT or not.
Yeah. Anish, from here, from this statement of yours, now there comes my question. Actually, what happens between students is that they take mock as their final examination. Once they start scoring less in their mock examination, for them their world is over. कि यार अब नहीं हो पाएगा, अब क्लैट नहीं हो सकता है, ठीक है? अभी तो I cannot score good in my क्लैट ये mock examination. Then how will I face my क्लैट examination? So can you please address our audience that मतलब कि does the marks of your mock affects or have any of the impact upon your CLAT paper, final CLAT paper?
Yeah, so uh, you definitely need not worry about what you are scoring, but yeah, there are like a little bit of threshold is there that if you are scoring below 60 in mocks right now, so you need to be worried that you have only 50 days, but you are still scoring 60. But that doesn't mean that you will not be able to clear CLAT. Just take mocks as a net practice. That before every match, a cricketer goes through the net practice, and even if he is not able to perform that well in net practice, he may be able to score a century in the actual match. So that doesn't matter. It's just take every mock as a different study material. The topics you have in GK in every mock, take them as the study material. Even if you don't know any of the seven topics that are asked in the mock, it's good know that you now know that there are seven topics that you have not researched about, and there are seven topics that you need to work upon. So this is a great thing about mocks. Like I must tell you that, uh, uh, like, ma'am, I think there's an echo. I am hearing myself.
No. You're audible.
Uh,
You're audible. Yeah, you're audible. You're clearly audible.
okay, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must tell all the aspirants that a month before CLAT, I appeared for an all India mock, and in that, I got only 64 marks and a rank of 10,000. Can you imagine? Like, after 1 month, I got a rank of 17 and a score of 111. So, mocks are extremely like very arbitrary. I must say that the difficulty level varies with each mock. If you are scoring like 80 today, the difficulty level of tomorrow's mock may be very difficult and you may not be able to score above 70. So that doesn't matter. It's just that you need to be in that consistent mode every day, that you have to give a mock and enhance your knowledge. Just take mocks as something that will enhance your knowledge and something that you need to work upon. The topics, the GK topics, the maths topic, the topics that are asked in legal reasoning. If you do not know one topic, you have time. No, tomorrow there is no CLAT tomorrow. You still have 50 days to work on that topic. If something is asked that you do not know, if a topic of international law is asked that you are not aware about, it's good na ke before CLAT you get to know what that topic is. So do not worry more about the marks. Like I tell this to every like mentee, whoever asks me. So even if you're scoring 110 and even if you're scoring 80, that doesn't matter. Because what matters is what you score on the real CLAT day. So don't be complacent if you're scoring 110 plus, and don't be worried if you are scoring 80. Because there are next 50 days that will decide what you do, and your consistency in the next 50 days is something that will decide what you do in CLAT. Don't be worried about what you are scoring in mocks. Yeah, but connected to that also, I want to add one thing also.
Yeah.
That my highest score in mocks was 95. Highest score in mocks was 95, and in CLAT I got 111. That is straight away what 16 marks of improvement. And my like best rank in mock was also like 40, 50. But in CLAT I got 17. So what you score in mock doesn't matter much, but it matters a lot. It matters to the extent that you get to know what your level of preparation in there is, and where you are lacking, and what is your strong area. But it is restricted to only that. It what you score now is not something that is gonna define you, or that is gonna like determine what your rank in CLAT will be.
Okay. No, this was a really great motivation for all of our listeners. I assume. Okay. See what Anish, actually, since COVID pandemic has taken place, everything has started happening remote, right? Everything has started happening remote. Everything has shifted to online mode, right? So the students also very crib about the online education. कि यार पता नहीं कैसा ही होगा. So I just want to know from Anish, since you're a topper and since your AIR rank hold is 17, so can you please tell me about your experience in respect of online education, as everything has shifted? I mean, everything which in terms of productive work we say has shifted. It has been now being done through internet. So can you just tell me about your experience in respect of online mode of education, and pour some light on this, please.
Yeah, so personally, I seriously like online mode of education because I think the time that is saved in commuting to offline coaching and the time you waste there sometimes, like interacting with others, and the time is usually wasted. Like a lot of time is wasted when you go to a place and then study. On the other hand, when you are online, it's like the class starts at 6 and ends exactly at 7. So there's hardly anything that you waste, and there's hardly anything where the time is wasted. So, and secondly, when there was the transition between offline and online, the resources I came to know about that are available online freely and that were at my disposal were of immense help to me, because when I used to study offline for CLAT and all, I was not aware about the resources and various websites on Instagram. Sorry, on Instagram, I'm saying on Google.
Okay.
Yeah, on Telegram and Google, that were freely available at my disposal, and the quality of like content that was freely available, I was not aware of that. But when this transition happened and everything went online, I came to know that yeah, all such things are existent, that are freely available, and all these like coachings also help a lot online. They all provide free study material and all. So that was the thing that happened that really helped me, because when you are offline, like my experience is when you are offline, you are restricted to that 40 people or the 50 people that you are around. Even if I am a topper in my offline coaching that I used to go at some point of time, so it's only like I am the topper in out of 40. But when we start giving mocks online, and when we are in a group of online people, we know that if we are like, even if we are a rank of 100 out of 10,000 people, we know that we are competing at a large scale, and we know that there are a lot of people, there are 99 people above us who are also scoring good, and that is our main competition. Because I'm literally telling you, I was in a bubble for my first 1.5 years, that I'm topping my offline coaching, I'm scoring good in mocks, and I'll be able to clear CLAT. But when this bubble opened up, when everything went online, and I learned about new online resources, I knew that I'm insignificant in this entire world, and there are a lot of people, there are thousands of people above me who are scoring better than me. So that was the moment I realized, yeah, bro, कुछ तो करना पड़ेगा, ऐसा नहीं होगा. तुझे तो लग रहा था कि you are the topper, but you are nowhere near the toppers. Yeah, so online really helped me.
No, basically online showed you your real talent in the rank,
Yeah.
right? Basically, and it has helped you to come to AI rank 17. Okay, see.
Hmm.
So this was all the introduction. This was a chit chat we have done with Anish, and now we are coming back to the thumbnail topic, that how to manage your board examination along with your CLAT examination. Anish, actually, this time what has happened is that, see, I'm having a date sheet of 12th board examination, and the examination has started from 26th April, that is from yesterday, and it's going to be till 15th of June. Okay, and the CLAT examination is on 19th of June. So there's a lot of distress going on among the, and there's a lot of hustle going among the students who are appearing for 12th board as well, and for the CLAT examination as well. So there are few questions I would like to know, that how the students can balance their 12th board examination along with their CLAT 2020 preparation. Basically, I want you to put some particular strategic time management strategy which you can give to our students. So can you just pour some light on this?
Yeah, so ma'am, I would like to focus more on the point that you don't need to necessarily work hard for board exams, because what matters is the CLAT exam. Because this year, even the Delhi University is not accepting board marks as the criteria for admission. So why do you need board marks? I scored like 98% in my class 12 boards, but nowhere in no one in this college has ever asked me what your percentage was in class 12. Because what matters is your rank. If you are in a good college, nobody would ask what your board marks is. And if you are in a bad college, so definitely everybody is gonna ask you what your marks are. So why do you? This advice I've been giving to a lot of aspirants also, that you should focus more on CLAT exam only, and the extra time that you have and the time that you may take out of the CLAT preparation, you may devote for board exams. Because even if you devote like exclusively 1 day, 2 days before the board exam exclusively to the particular subject, you will be able to sail through. Because I have been through the same syllabus, and it's not hard. It's all that requires is cramming. There's hardly anything to research about or be thorough about. It's more on cramming side. So if you give like 2 to 3 days exclusively board exam, that would suffice. And also, there are a lot of preparatory holidays between each of the exams. There are like the exams start on 26th April but end on 15th June. So if you have exam today, I believe that you will have definitely have probably have an exam like after 7 8 days. So
Sure.
why you yeah, so you need to like devote your time accordingly towards that, because hardly nobody will ever ask you your class 12 board exams, and this year even Delhi University is not asking. On the other hand, the DUET syllabus is more on like AILET side and competitive exam side. So if you are preparing for AILET, for CLAT, and for other law entrance exam, I think you will be able to score better than most others in the Delhi University entrance exam also. So my first piece of advice would be to focus more on flat, and yeah, the residual time you have you can devote on board exams, because it only the you will be able to do ऐसा तो नहीं होगा कि if you are scoring in like a rank of 17 in flat तो और board exams में you will not be able to score even 45%. That is the minimum requirement that CLAT has. क्योंकि ऐसा तो कभी नहीं होगा कि जो टॉपर एक जगह क्लैट में टॉपर है वो बोर्ड एग्जाम में भी बिल्कुल ही फेल हो रहा है. This is never gonna be the case. So
Okay.
yeah, तो even if you're scoring 80 say 85, कौन पूछ रहा है कहाँ पर जरूरत आएगी. If you have to apply for abroad, then you need to have board exams. But if you are applying for board, then तो ये question ही नहीं rise होता कि CLAT पढूं या board पढूं. So definitely it's CLAT that you should be more focused upon, and you should give more time to CLAT. Yeah.
Okay. Anish, can you just state, can you just state something that, what mistakes or what hurdle a student must avoid so that they can do good in both CLAT and ye both in CLAT and boards? Because there are certain, at times what happens is that the students, they push themselves to CLAT preparation so much that they lag in their 12 board examination, or either they put themselves so much into a board examination because, from the very childhood in India, we have been feed up with this thinking, 12 board examination is a very, very integral part of your life, and you have to do good for society and everything. You might be aware of all these things, right? So what happens in among all these wordings and under all these pressures, because students used to do that, they divert their focus towards one examination, and which is particularly 12th board examination, right? So can you just address what mistakes or what hurdles they might what hurdles they must overcome or they must avoid, the mistake they avoid happening, so that they can do good in both the examinations, since both the examinations are major.
Yeah, even I have the same thing in mind, that the biggest mistake that you could do in your CLAT preparation would be focusing only on board exams while neglecting CLAT. Because you all know that staying consistent in CLAT is very, very important. Because if you neglect CLAT, and if you do not read for 2 days, the third day when you start reading, you'll feel very tired, you'll feel exhausted, and you will not be able to read with the same efficiency. And what CLAT requires is a good reading speed and a good comprehension skills. So if you neglect CLAT for like even 5 days, like if you say that I have a maths exam after like 5 days, and I need to devote my time next 5 days exclusively for the maths exam. So when the sixth day you'll start reading newspaper, or you'll appear for a mock, there is a great risk of reduced reading speed, your marks getting reduced, you forgetting the art of giving marks, and all such things may happen on the sixth day. So staying consistent is very important. So what you need to do is to stay balanced. So I know, I get it that we live in a society where CLAT board exams are given a lot of importance, and the fear of relatives calling you, asking your parents about your marks, and then your parents may feel ashamed of telling your marks. I have gone through all of this, and yeah, I know that such a thing is very dreadful in our society. So what you can do is learn the art of balancing things. So if you have a maths exam after 5 days from now, what you can do is, like if you study for like 8 to 10 hours a day, and I think you should study 8 to 10 hours a day because you have board and CLAT. So 8 to 10 hours a day is a minimum for a person who has to give both the exams, board and CLAT. So if you're studying for 8 hours a day, like just try to give 3 hours for CLAT. Just give 3 hours for CLAT and read a newspaper, give a sectional. This is the only thing that I would ask you to do if you have exam that you find tough, and you think you need to focus more on the board exam. So just do these two things, that is read a newspaper to be like consistent with the reading, and give a sectional test every day for the next 5 days. And that would mean you have given a mock, because if you give one sectional today for English, tomorrow critical, third legal, fourth fourth like GK and fifth maths. So that would mean you have even appeared for a mock, even though you were preparing for your board exam, because you have given five sections. You have broken down a mock in like five sections. So this is the best way you could balance things. Just give a sectional test daily and read newspaper and go through the daily GK. Going through daily GK is very easy. Just go through any of the websites online, and even Success Mantra. I have seen YouTube videos of Success Mantra. Even they are pretty good while dealing with GK. So you can like just go through the video, just skim through internet notes wherever available of daily GK, and do the basic reading stuff. So this is important because you need to be in the group throughout. You need to be in that study, that reading mode throughout, because if you stop reading for a day, the next day you won't feel like reading anything. So just balance things out. Give 3 to 4 hours out of your 10 hours daily of study to CLAT while you are appearing for a difficult board exam.
Okay. Actually, Anish, the question which you answered about the GK, here are two students. Nikita Jain, she's asking how to prepare for legal, and the second one is Shivansh Singh, and he's like how to manage current affairs. No, these both sections comprise a great weightage in CLAT examination. So can you just please pour some light on this?
Yeah, so just a disclaimer before I start answering. This is all completely based on my knowledge and how I prepared a particular section. And you do not necessarily have to follow my advice blindly. So what I did for legal was everybody's in one coaching or the other. So the best thing would be to go through the coaching material that they have presently at their disposal, and every coaching almost covers everything that is required for legal reasoning. So if for the same for me, I used to go through my coaching material. Then the best thing is go through the mocks, because each mock has 40 questions. That is 8 topics, 8 different topics of crime, of constitution, of contract, of torts. So when you go through each of the topic, like 8 topics, you are nonetheless thorough with what the CLAT would ask. And secondly, you need to focus more on the four core topics of legal reasoning, that I just named: the constitution law, criminal law, contract law, and tort law. Once you are done with these four core conceptual topics of legal reasoning, you should move to like the current legal knowledge topics, like what happens in sedition, what is defamation, what is UAPA, what is a FUSPA. So these all topics can be read on online websites like Live Law and Bar and Bench. So this was my routine, and this was what I followed for the legal section. Give sectional tests for legal, give mock tests for legal, and yeah. And secondly, one more thing that is very important for CLAT is go through previous year AILET paper, AILET legal section. Because if you are able to solve the AILET legal section easily and with great accuracy, the only difference between AILET and CLAT is AILET gives the principle in passage form, and CLAT gives the principle in passage form, and AILET asks directly as principal fact questions. But the facts are usually most of the time they are usually same and are taken from famous case laws. So if you are able to score good in AILET legal section, previous year section, you will be able to ace the CLAT exam. I'm using the word ace because this is what I did. I used to go through previous year AILET mocks, and that helped me a lot in acing the CLAT legal section. So that was my strategy for legal. And coming to GK and current affairs, the most important thing is reading newspaper daily, making daily notes, and identifying the topic and researching about it on our own. So usually there are a lot of compendiums available on Google and Telegram, detailing topics and all. So a lot of websites online also give a lot of compendiums that are very exhaustive. But one thing we need to know is these compendiums are not exclusively for CLAT. These are mostly oriented for the judiciary exam or the UPSC exam. And not all topics are relevant for CLAT aspirants, because they are very like in-depth research and very nuanced topic that are not required for CLAT. So you need to learn the art of identifying a topic that is relevant for CLAT. So what my strategy was to identify a particular topic is a topic which repeated itself consecutively for 2 to 3 days in newspaper. So like for example, there's a topic World Wetland Days, let's say, or World Water Day. So if if that comes in the newspaper for consecutively 2 days, that becomes a relevant topic for me. And then I used to note down that topic in my diary, and then I used to research on my own, going to YouTube, going to Google, going to Wikipedia, and going to various other websites that provide in-depth research on that particular topic. I used to make my own notes. And secondly, coming to notes, making handwritten notes for GK is very important, because in your last like 14 to 15 days of preparation, what you need to do is only revision. So unless you have good handwritten notes and the good handwritten notes that are exhaustive in nature and comprehensive in nature, you will be looking around everywhere कि ये भी पढ़ लूँ, ये भी पढ़ लूँ, ये भी पढ़ लूँ. But when you have a good set of handwritten notes of GK, you know कि मुझे यही पढ़ना है. मेरे साथ ऐसा ही हुआ था कि I had a good set of GK notes like uh, totaling about 100 pages, like 50 topics. So I knew that in my last like 14 to 15 days, I have only to cover these 40 50 topics again. I have to go through these topics again. So that was my strategy for GK: reading newspaper daily, going to online websites, and making my own notes.
Okay. See, there is one question which I would like to ask you on the behalf of the students. What actually students do is that, for particularly for legal section, I'm not talking about GK section. They do what? Being a legal faculty, I have seen many students. They used to bring the reference book of legal. Rather than so just like contracts act उठा के ले आए कि इसी से मैम पढ़ा दो sections ये just explaining in particular sections. So what students they used to do is that कि they need to go through such in-depth law knowledge before enrolling themselves to law schools? Can you please address the student on this, because this is a very common
Yeah.
mistake as a faculty I've noticed. And can you just please do address it?
Yeah, you have noticed this as a faculty. As an aspirant, also, I've noticed my friends bringing contract acts, bringing Constitution Bear Act, and asking the faculty to teach them from that act. But
Yeah.
you have to know that you are not in a like a judiciary exam, or you are not in a like advocacy exam. You are just sitting for a CLAT entrance, law entrance exam. So they are just checking what your comprehension skill is about for regarding the subject matter that you have to study for the next 5 hours. So they are only going to ask about very like basic concepts: offer acceptance, consideration, meeting of minds, etc., etc. They're not going to delve into questions of contract of indemnity, contract of bailment, law of damages,
Exactly.
contract of.
Hmm.
Yeah, they're not going to ask about supervening impossibility, what is frustration of contract. They will not ask that, because they know that these are the topics that you will be taught in law school. You are not being taught these topics by any coaching or by anyone at this moment, when you are just in 11th and 12th. On one hand, you are studying sociology by like class 12th faculty, and on the other hand, you want yourself to be taught contract acts, and that too in depth. So this is not the case, and CLAT is not asking you to go into such depth. The CLAT exam will not ask very like deep topics of tort law. They'll only ask what defamation is, what voluntary non-fit injuria is, what recepta liquidator is. So just stick to that, and your faculty knows what is best for you, and you do not have to doubt your faculty, because they are the only person who know where you are and what you need to achieve. So just stick to what the faculty is teaching you and what CLAT exam usually asks. So they will not ask anything out of the box this year also. They'll rather stick to the pattern only. General pattern is very basic concept. So they'll ask only very basic concept, not very in-depth topic that is being taught in law schools.
Yeah, thank you for clearing this out. See, all the listeners and all the aspirants. The law school does not want lawyers; they want aspirants and they want students. They don't want lawyer, to make up and then come and study law. So rather than and trust your teachers. Thank you, Anish, for stating this thing. Thank you so much. Okay. So my next question to you, Anish, is that what must be the last hour what must be the last hour strategy, since after the completion of board examination and before the CLAT finale?
Okay, so last hour strategy is very simple. You like hardly you have 7 to 8 days. If your exams end on 15 June, so you only have 3 days. But I
Not
think most of the
exactly.
exams end on like 12th. Most of the exams end on like 9th or 10th June. The main top subjects, I think. Someone told me okay, they
No,
have 10 days. So
on 15th we are having our psychology, so which I assume that
oh,
this
okay.
yeah, art students. So no,
Psychology is a
yeah,
yeah. Even I had psychology, so psychology is like a main subject.
yeah.
So for art student, that's sad for you if you have only like 3 days for the preparation between CLAT and board. So like for last 3 days, I think only revision is something that you have to do. One important advice at this moment is you do not have to look anywhere else besides your notes. I have seen people in the last 3 4 days, ये भी कर लूँ, इस coaching का भी कर लूँ, ये newspaper पढ़ लूँ, ये कर लूँ, वो कर लूँ, ये कर लूँ. But you do not have to do this. This only creates anxiety among you, and just leads you to the thought that मैंने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं, ये भी पढ़ा है, ये भी पढ़ा है. just trust yourself for the last 3 4 days. Just have faith in what you have done, in like what you have been through in the last 2 years. Just reflect on that and just revise whatever you can do. Take out like any mock exam, previous mock exam that you have given, and just revise. Just go through just peruse the mistakes that you have made in that mock. Just go through the wrong answer. Just go through the explanation. Similar for like go through your sectional. The most important thing that I did was go through my GK notes. So on that and this made me so confident on the CLAT day that my father asked me, "Okay, are you good about GK?" Like he was generally while we were going to the exam center, we were generally conversing. So he said that, "Are you good about GK?" So I said that I'm this confident that if there is a topic that I do not know about, so the majority will not know about. So this was the confidence level that I had on the CLAT day कि मैंने इतना किया है कि अगर मुझे नहीं आया तो majority बच्चों को नहीं आएगा वो. So this is what should be your attitude and your mindset on the day of trial. Because if you are fearful, if you feel anxious, if you feel like stressful, कि मेरे से नहीं होगा, इतनी crowd है, ये वो, तो नहीं होगा CLAT. Because what CLAT requires is a fresh state of mind, a fresh peace of mind, you being calm, you being conscious of what you are doing, and it is all that requires. If you are in the right mood on the day of CLAT, you are definitely gonna do better. So this happened to some of my friends who were really great, who were really intelligent, and who were scoring better than me or at par with me. What happened was they got anxious. So yeah, coming to this point, I also thought that I would tell you this. Okay, because I had given the CLAT 2020 exam, my center in CLAT 2020 exam, that was my dummy attempt, and my CLAT 2021 exam was the same. So because I had given that dummy attempt, I knew what the procedure would be to enter the exam, the crowd I will see when I enter the exam, and how the exam will be conducted. So when I went for my CLAT 2021 exam, I exactly knew what is going to happen with me. I knew कि यहाँ पे registration होगी, यहाँ पर test होगा, यहाँ पर ये होगा. So I just like felt like I was giving a mock. It was just another mock for me. But for my friends who appeared at the same center, they were very confused at what to do, कहाँ पे paper होगा, and they were very anxious. So there was a friend of mine who like very who was very great, intelligent than me, but was not able to do better than me because anxiety took over her and she felt anxious while seeing the crowd. So this is the importance of giving a dummy attempt before you appear for the actual board. So if you are appearing for CLAT 2023 exam in December, this is my sincere request to you all that appear for CLAT 2022 exam in June also, because you know okay अभी मेरी preparation level क्या है and what happens on the real CLAT day. You'll just feel normal when you appear for your actual CLAT. Yeah. This is what I want to talk
Basically
about.
make a blueprint of the thing which you are going to face in the coming future
Yeah.
before the finale, basically, right? You would like you say. Anish, I'll
Yeah.
again interrupt you in between, and because for our audience, see audience who have joined you, who have joined us right now or before some time, what is the good news for you people is that Success Mantra is now partnered with Olive Wood. Olive Wood itself is a very giant online education platform, and what they have brought up for you is that they have brought up the CLAT preparation course along with them, with the best faculties, as Success Mantra has given a lot of toppers, and Olive Wood itself is a very online big education giant, and they are providing you 50% discount on the CLAT course. And if you use the the coupon code of Anish, then you will get 5% more extra discount, which is like previously you were getting 50% discount on the course, and now it's 50% plus 5. That the total discount will be 55%. And what advantage will you get if you use Anish coupon code is that the Anish will be your strategy guide throughout the course, and he'll guide you, and he'll tell you what steps to take, what steps not to take, how to deal with the sections, how about the time management, and everything will be everything. You will get the complete mentorship by Anish, the topper itself. So this was go and avail this opportunity as quick as possible. The link is there in the chat box. Go and open the app, enroll yourself, go and at least see it, and then just take the advantage of this opportunity as soon as possible. Yeah. So now, Anish, and then again coming back to you, there is one question. The question is from It's KK. It's KK is asking that how to manage maths section because I'm really bad at it.
Yeah, so math section is something that mostly all aspirants are bad at. And CLAT also doesn't have a good way with maths because for the past 2 years, math section always has one or two irregularities. So one thing about math section in CLAT is practice. And like CLAT usually has 3 to 4 topics only in various forms. Like if you are thorough with ratio proportion, if you are thorough with percentage, and if you are thorough with average, I am betting it on it that you will be able to attempt at least 10 questions out of 15. Because, like, if you take any DI set, if you take any like line chart, pie chart, bar graph, anything that is solely based only on ratio proportion or percentage or average. So, if you are thorough with these 3 topics only, if you know the shortcuts, if you know these topics inside out, you'll be able to fare very good in math section of CLAT exam. So this is my only advice to the people who are scared of maths, that it is not necessary that you have to attempt 15 out of 15 questions. And if you even if you are able to attempt 10, that is really good, and you will be able to attempt 10 for sure if you are thorough with only these 3 topics: ratio proportion, percentage, and average. So only thing you can do from now onwards is do these topics inside out. Go on YouTube, go on any other website that you want, and know the shortcuts of these 3 topics of maths, and you'll be able to do good. And one advice would be to always attempt math section at the end, because we do not know if this year also CLAT may have some problem in the math section. So if you attempt maths anywhere else before the beginning, that may have the tendency to affect your other section that you attempt after maths. So it is always my advice to attempt maths at the end.
Okay. No.
Coming to the sequence also, like coming back to sequence also, what my sequence was, I started with English, then I attempted GK, then I attempted legal, then critical reasoning, and then at the end attempted maths. This is a good sequence, and I have recommended this sequence to a lot of aspirants, and that has worked for them also. So if you want, you can follow the sequence.
Okay. Anish, what happens, it's KK only. What happens, I have seen many students, they come up to me and they're like, maths section is not comprising that much weight. It is just 20 marks or it is just 15 marks. So we leave that section. So, what actually the students who are basically weak in maths, what they prefer is that rather than preparing, what they do is that they prefer leaving the maths section in the main examination. Right. So can you just, can you just address this demerit in the students, like whether they should leave the entire section or taking up the questions.
Yeah. This is a very bad idea, I must tell you. And if someone does it, I don't think he or she will be able to clear CLAT, because I scored 7 marks in maths. And if not for that 7 marks, I would not have been in NLS. I've seen people scoring like 100 but still not attempting maths. So when I ask them, they say I try to focus more on legal or critical reasoning and I leave maths. And
Exactly.
after class, when I asked them what they did, well, they just said कि because legal thoda मुश्किल आया and I was not able to do GK because वो थोड़ा complicated था. I could not make it because I did not attempt maths. Because क्योंकि maths was not that difficult as compared to GK in CLAT exam, because GK was very weird in 2021. But math section was comparatively easy, like only ratio, proportion, and percentage they asked. So if you do not attempt math section, just consider yourself out of the race of NLS, National Law Schools. You may be able to get a good like NLU, but consider yourself out of the NLS race, because maths is very important. It can be the most game changer section that ever could be. Because if you attempt math, and if you score like 5 to 6 marks, that could increase your rank by thousands or even 2000s, because it has so much. Because most of the aspirants, if 60,000 people give, so like 55,000 or 58,000 people fear maths. And if you are better than those 58,000, definitely consider yourself in top 3,000 anyways, because you are attempting maths. So this is the importance of math section, that is very important. Yeah.
I hope now the students are very much clear about that. They have to attend math section rather than just completely ignoring the math section, which
Yeah.
they prefer to leave the math section and just go ahead with legal GK, and then that's a trap, and they fell in it. Okay. So, yeah. So, my next question to you is that what kind of flexibility is required by the student in order to manage both CLAT 2022 and 12th board together? What kind of
Yeah,
flexibility?
flexible. I think flexibility in terms of time management and balancing things is required. If you are flexibly able to manage time between chat and boards, I think that should suffice at this moment. And flexibility in the terms of also that if you're not able to focus on CLAT today, just go. It's important and it's imperative for you to focus more on CLAT tomorrow. So this type of flexibility is required. That if you study for CLAT only 1 hour today, just give 1 hour extra tomorrow. And I think this would be enough for in terms of flexibility required.
Okay. And now here comes the again we have discussed earlier about the mock papers. So here comes my question is that how important is to solve previous year question and mock papers in respect of CLAT and other law entrance examination? Because I have seen people
Yeah.
that they like there are students you might have also seen that they are like solving mocks, but they aren't focused upon the previous year paper. So just tell them the importance about the previous year paper and of the mock papers. And there are also students, Anish, which those who don't even appear for mock examinations. Okay, they
Yeah.
are they are very relied because you have done the coaching, so you might have come across all these kinds of students ki या तो previous year solve करें नहीं तो mock ही solve करें नहीं तो कोई एक ही solve करें नहीं तो दोनों ही नहीं solve करें उनको लग रहा है कि whatever they are studying their study is self sufficient and their study will make them get through CLAT or other law entrance examination if not CLAT. So just pour some light on
Yeah.
this. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely, ma'am. The importance of mocks cannot be overstated. Like they are the actual benchmark tests
Mhm.
that we definitely need to appear for to judge our preparation. And yeah, so considering CLAT is so near, if you have not started already, this is my sincere advice and sincere request to you all that please start appearing for mocks. And if you are already giving mocks, just increase the frequency to at least like 3 mocks per week from now, because they are the only things that will help you judge your preparation level and also tell you what your weaknesses are and what your strengths are. I have seen people that they think कि यार मैंने इतना कर लिया, I've studied this. Okay, you have studied this, but how do you know if you are still lacking in that particular subject? It's only the mock or the sectional test that will help you know where you are lacking and what is your grade or your strong point. So if I agree you have studied, you must feel that I am done with contracts. You can ask me anything. But why are you afraid of mock? Just give the mock, and if there's something that you do not know in that mock, you will know. Okay, हाँ मैं यहाँ lack कर रहा हूँ, and this is something I need to work upon. So yeah, mocks are really important. If you have not started, please start from tomorrow onwards. And if you are already giving, just increase the frequency to at least 3 mocks from now.
Yeah, basically for me mock is like is just like a practice session for your final
Yeah.
round. And this is what student used to ignore for the same in regard to the previous paper. And thank you so much for this elaborate explanation on this. And there's I don't know why people are asking this question that it's KK. Actually, can CLAT be postponed before because of the rising cases of COVID once again? See, we aren't having this answer as of now, and this question must not be answered in this session. So kindly just stop putting this question again and again. Okay. Now the next question for you is that as we are aware that there is a time crunch between 12th board examination and CLAT 2022, and this time crunch is creating so much anxiety and distress among the students. इतना उनको anxiety हो जा रहा है कि बेचारे पढ़ ही नहीं पा रहे हैं. उनको लग रहा है कि यार 4 दिन 3 दिन का हमें gap मिला है. चौथे दिन तो we are having a CLAT examination. So can you just give some suggestion or the relaxation tips to them to how to deal with the anxiety and distress?
Yeah, I think I already answered this question while I was answering some other thing. Okay, totally depends on you. Like, do something that gives you pleasure and that takes you out of the anxiety that you're facing or the stress that you're facing. For my personal go-to relaxation measure was a short brisk walk in the evening with the earphones on and
Mhm.
listening to loud music. And like I felt like my stress was also ended with each song that ended, and I felt fresh and renewed. So this is something that you should find on your own. What is the best de-stress measure for you, and what gives you pleasure, and what
gives you a little like 5 minutes of bliss after you are done with an exhaustive reading session for CLAT. So this is something that you should like identify on your own. My suggestion could be like listen to music, do something, play an instrument if you do. Uh, Talk to your parents, talk to your friends. Like talking to parents, talking to friends can be a really stress buster at times. When you're feeling low, that is something that will really help you when you talk to friends and your parents. Yeah, so these all tips can come handy.
Okay. So I know Anish, being the student, you might have also observed there's a common practice between the student, and you might have also come through, or you might have also have been through, or your friends or your कुछ अगल बगल के लोग ही ऐसे कुछ जा रहे होंगे. तुमने देखा होगा ना कि whenever somebody starts preparing for any competition, they are very enthusiastic. You know, this examination is mine. I am seeing myself in Bangalore. And lately, what happens is that Bangalore से नालसार से क्या बोलते हैं, थोड़ा नीचे का एनएलयू, फिर आपका
NHS.
एनएलयू, फिर आपका कि यार अभी ना कोई प्राइवेट कॉलेज देख ही ले, ठीक है, ऐसा हो जाता है. सो यू नो दिस कांस्टेंट डिक्लाइन इन द enthusiastic zeal which is happening in the students is causing loss for them only. So can you suggest some measures to how to deal with this demerit and how to keep the students to that particular enthusiastic zeal with which they have started?
Right. Yeah, I completely agree and I concur that CLAT preparation can be very monotonous at times. But the best way to deal with it is to do something new daily. Like there are a lot of genres that you can read about. There are a lot of articles that you can delve into. A lot of like if like giving an example of a buster, there are a lot of things that you could watch on Netflix, and a lot of GK topics that you could research about daily, and a lot of cons topic that you can solve. So the best advice at this point, when if you feel low and if you feel monotonous, that CLAT preparation is taking a toll on you. So best thing is to do something new daily. Just make yourself comfortable with the process, and you do not have to take CLAT preparation as a burden. Just think of it as a part of your daily routine, and that it is imperative for you to stick to that routine. Because what I used to do is create targets for myself. Like before, I go to sleep tonight. I'll make my targets for tomorrow. That tomorrow I'll do 5 sets of maths, 5 sets of RC, and I'll do 10 topics for GK. So when I've created this target, I must stick to that. And in this way, I will not find myself like in this monotonous tone every day, because there's something new that I'm going to read about tomorrow. There's something new. There's a new topic that I will research about tomorrow. There's a new GK thing that I'll look into, a new quant topic that I will follow, and a new genre of like reading comprehension or for critical reasoning, like philosophy, history, fiction, non-fiction, science, ऐसे कुछ भी मतलब just read everything, just read something new daily. कई लोग होते हैं if they like reading non-fiction they'll just stick to non-fiction. If they like reading fiction they'll every day they'll read fiction, and after a point of time excess of anything is bad for you. And the same goes for topics in class. So if you read the same thing every day, it will become monotonous. So there were times when I used to read The Hindu. So ऐसा लगता था कि अब मैं The Hindu नहीं पढ़ूंगा. I used to feel very like frustrated at The Hindu. मैं आज नहीं पढ़ूंगा. So that day I used to do the Indian Express. मतलब कुछ पढ़ना ही है ना. The main point is to read something or and to gain a knowledge. So if you do not want feel like reading The Hindu, just read the Indian Express. So this was my like routine of how coming up with new things, not getting like too entrenched into what I'm studying daily. And yeah, this was my strategy
Yeah.
to avoid monotonous routine.
Actually, there is one question which has popped up in front of her, and the question is asked by Nandini Ketan, and she's asking ki, how many mocks should we give ideally before the D day?
Yeah, so there is not a certain ideal number that I would recommend, but yeah, if you talk about it normatively, a minimum of 50 marks would be good. But yeah, if you are anywhere between 30 to 50 marks, that would make you comfortable on the CLAT day, and you will be in the right group appearing for CLAT, because you'll know, okay, मेरी ये sequence है. This section I have to attempt first. This is my weak section. This is my strong section. So after like span of 30, 40 marks, you know, okay, what I have to do in marks and what sequence I have to follow and all such things. So there is no such ideal number. It all depends on you. I like individually personally gave like 60, 70 marks, but I have my batchmates who hardly gave 20, 25 marks. So if 70 marks were sufficient for me, they were good at 20 only or 25 only. So it totally depends on your efficiency and your skill set. But yeah, ideally, normatively talking about a 35 to 40 or anything above 40 is really good, but 35 to 40 is something that you should target.
Okay, and there is one more question. I think this question is from Yuvika Singh, and she's asking, how can I deal with the brain fog while giving test?
Okay, so I'm assuming by brain fog, she's meaning that she's feeling exhausted while giving mock.
Or maybe she's
Yeah.
asking something.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. So the anxiety part. So the best way to avoid is practice. If you give a mock every day, the if you give like mock for 6 days a week, then on the seventh day, I don't think you will feel like brain fog or what I used to call anxiety or exhaustion, because you know कि अब तो 2 घंटे बैठना ही है mock में, तो brain fog क्यों ही होगा? Brain को भी पता चल जाए क्योंकि ये 2 घंटे बैठती है daily, तो मैं fog नहीं हूँ. मतलब very, it's a poor joke, I know, but yeah, you get the point. No, okay, what is required is practice. Yeah, if you give a lot of mocks, you will get into that mindset, and your consistency level will be such that you know, okay, I have to give a mock, and you will be able to sail through. And another thing is that sometimes people like face anxiety or exhaustion during mocks because they have not read so much, and when they are appearing for a mock, they have to read 30 passages at a state day. So they find it difficult to read 30 passages when they have not even read, like if they are not able to read even 2 to 3 articles of the Hindu daily. So only advice is to read as much as you can, to read as diverse things as you can. Just don't restrict yourself to one particular genre, and yeah, increase your reading speed. But at this point, like 50 days are left, I hope that you all must have good reading speed and good comprehension skills. But if you do not, just practice like from various online websites. One thing I can recommend is Khan Academy. Khan Academy really has great like free resource available for like some things or the other, and you can go on that if you want to read diverse things. That's a good website.
Okay. Basically, what I suggest to student is that, what happens is that CLAT examination is mainly done towards, like it's from 2 to 4, evening, दोपहर का time होता है.
Yeah.
And that time generally, students feel sleepy because that's basically a sleeping or taking a nap hour. So what I suggest to students is that they must they must sit for their mock examination or with the mock papers by between 2 to 4 or on the time on which the CLAT will happen, in order to avoid the brain fog or whatever anxiety or whatever sleepiness or whatever laziness they are having in their brain. So this also you can do, Yuvika. Okay. Yeah. And now the final and the important question is that, keeping the scenario like in the scene where this year CLAT 2022 is happening, what do you suggest to a student, to study smart or to study hard or to study both smart and hard?
Yeah, definitely. Like studying smartly and working hard is both like required in like equal quantities. Because if you study hard but you do not work smartly, that is futile, and vice versa. Because working smartly without working hard, that is also futile. So like equal amount of hard work and equal amount of smartness is required to clear a competitive exam. Yeah, so it's still only, like, to be very honest, talking not as a mentor or not as a topper, just as a friend, I'm telling you, CLAT is not that difficult. CLAT is a really comparatively chill exam, and you just need to be constant in whatever you do. Just need to be constant. If you study only 4 hours a day, I'm telling you as a friend that I never used to study more than 6 hours a day. But I used to study constantly. कि ऐसा नहीं है कि if I studied 6 hours a day, tomorrow I'll study, like I'll say कि कल 6 घंटा तो पढ़ा था, आज 2 घंटे पढ़ लेता हूँ. ऐसा नहीं था. I used to study only 6 hours, but I used to study consistently and constantly. So it's just that find a right routine for you, manage things well, balance things well, and find yourself a routine. Identify weak areas and strong areas, and yeah, just stick to the routine that you create for yourself.
Yeah, this was really really nice advice you can give to our listeners. Okay. Again, Kshitij Verma is asking tips for GK.
Tips for GK, Kshitij, I already like talked you through that. But again, coming to that, like the best thing would be reading newspapers, going through online compendiums that are available, and the compendium that is provided by your coaching. That would be good. And doing your own research. Identify a topic that appears to be relevant for you, and do your own research and make handwritten notes. That is only like hack for GK.
Okay. So Anish, since you're a topper, and we would really like to have your take on the subject-wise tips. Please make aware our listeners and to our students, or we can say aspirant, give them a brief idea about subject-wise tips, please.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll talk about critical reasoning and reading comprehension in a cumulative way because I think they are comparatively similar. If you're able to do good in English, there's a higher chance that you're good in critical reasoning and also vice versa. So, main thing for reading comprehension and critical reasoning is a good reading speed and a good comprehension skill. So to increase the reading speed, it's just that time management. So what you have to do is like if you take 3 to 4 minutes reading a passage, so in next 1.5 minute, you should be able to do the next 5 questions that follow a passage. So it's for, the most important thing is how you read and how quickly you read because read तो कोई भी कर लेगा जल्दी जल्दी तो कोई भी पढ़ लेगा but it is also important that you understand what you read because if you read in 2 minutes but then you are not able to answer the questions and you have to again visit the passage that is it's the same thing only that you'll take 5 6 minutes then and you'll take 5 6 minutes if you read the passage thoroughly and then answer the question so you have to try bringing that time 5 6 minutes to 4 5 minutes and the ideal time for English section usually is 25 minutes so yeah you have like 4 to 5 minutes per passage and yeah you have to complete in that तो इंग्लिश के लिए यही है कि फोकस ऑन योर रीडिंग स्पीड ट्राई टू रीड एज मच एज पॉसिबल ऐसा नहीं होगा कि यू जस्ट अपीयर फॉर द फॉर मॉक एग्जाम एंड यू विल फाइंड योरसेल्फ like chill with what like the passages are because you need to be thorough with what the passage is asking and what the author is trying to say and for that you need to have a good comprehension skill after you are able to if after you read the passage you'll be able to make out what the author was trying to say what the conclusion is what the assumption is and what like the inferences and what the author's main point is so if you are able to make these things out after you read the passage, you'll be able to answer the 5 questions that follow easily. Similar for vocabulary, for English section, you do not have to do anything special. Just read newspapers and note down the difficult words that you find in newspapers and just note down the meaning from like the Merriam-Webster. This is a good dictionary that I recommend, Merriam-Webster or vocabulary.com, and just revise these vocabulary terms every weekend. Same for critical reasoning. Just have the basic knowledge of concepts of assumption, conclusion. Like some people like to use the assumption negation technique. So you have to be thorough with what this technique is, what conclusion is, how is it different from inference, what the main idea, what the like main argument is postulated by the author. So all these things, conceptual things are required, but at the end, it all culminates into what you practice and how much you practice. Because if you know the technical concepts of critical reasoning, but you are not practice, it is completely redundant. कि on paper तो तुम्हें सब पता है कि you have done all these techniques, but you're not able to translate your techniques or your skills into like good mock score. So end में it only matters how much you practice. Coming to GK, I've already talked about GK like twice. Okay, make your own notes, practice from mocks, treat mocks as your study material only. There are like 7 topics in each mock that may be new to you, so read about that. Coming to legal also I've talked about like do the 4 core topics of legal that is contract, crime, constitution, and torts, and then move on to current legal knowledge from bar and bench and live law. That would be suffice. That would suffice. Importance of sectionals and mocks. Mocks and sectionals are important for each of the 5 sections. You have to give mocks for GK. You have to give mocks for legal because then only you'll know कि मैंने जो पढ़ा है वो मुझे आता भी है. Because I may do research about Israel Palestine today, but if there are 5 questions on research Palestine to tomorrow and I'm able to only answer 2, so that means जो मैंने आज research की थी Israel Palestine पे, that is not enough, and I need to enhance my knowledge on that topic. So इसलिए mocks are important. Coming to maths also I've talked about already. Okay, there are 3 topics that you should work upon: ratio, proportion, percentage, and average. If you are able to do these 3 topics and you know these topics inside out, you know the shortcuts, you'll be able to answer like at least 10 out of 15. Yeah, that was all for subjectives from my side.
Anish, this some students needs your motivation. Okay, so can you just can you just you post some words of motivational words to our students? And actually, there is one student. His name is Kshitij Verma, and he is very skeptical about the current situation, and he's asking, can we crack this with sorry, can we crack this with this much time left? Well, can we crack CLAT with this much time left? Okay, so kindly
Yeah.
give some motivational speech to our listeners so that they are being motivated. Like the students like Kshitij must get motivated, and then now he must gather himself and pour himself totally into preparation. So please kindly pour some word on this.
Yeah, Kshitij, just to answer the question, you can definitely clear CLAT with 53 days left. If even if you give a mock every alternate day, you'll be able to appear for 26 mocks, and that is a really good number considering CLAT exam. So yeah, you can definitely clear CLAT with this much time left. Coming to the motivation, yeah. So my my advice would be just to like believe yourself and have faith in yourself. Talk to your parents, talk to your friends, talk to your mentors whenever you feel low. Just know that getting low marks in mocks is very normal, but the important thing is to work hard and get out of this trap of getting less marks in mocks. You need to follow the right sequence, keep your mind fresh, yeah, you just know that you have given all it required for CLAT exam. You have given 1 year, and for some of you, you have even given 2 years of your life. And now it's the time to prove your mettle. And just go for it, and I'm sure you all are going to do well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Anish. This was really an interactive and a motivational, session with you. And I'm very glad that I got an opportunity to at least talk to you and discuss things, discuss the questions of students along with you. And I'm like really impressed that you have motivated each and every student so nicely. And with this, again, Success Mantra has been partnered along with Olive Board, which is the online education giant, and they are offering CLAT preparation courses, CLAT and your law entrance preparation courses at 50% discount. Just go and avail this opportunity as soon as possible. And if you use the Anish code, which is being displaying on the back of the screen, go and use the Anish code to avail 5% extra discount on the course offered by Success Mantra, powered by Olive Board. Okay, and what advantage will you get when you use Anish coupon code? I think throughout the session you have seen that how amazing the Anish can be as a mentor. So he'll be your mentor throughout the course. He'll guide you on how to study, what to study, where to study, how can you devote your time into particular subject, about the time management and everything. And so just go and use the code. The link is there in the chat box. Go and enroll yourself. Go and at least open the app, see what the app is offering to you, and then just go and enroll. And okay, Anish, before wrapping up, we have come up with one more question, and the question is from Aditya Chahal. He is asking, I am from science stream and I am not getting the proper time for CLAT. Can you just tell me what should I do and how to manage my time for that?
Yeah, okay. So if you are from science team, I can construe it would be difficult for you to focus like and time equally divide time. But yeah, for now, considering only 50 days are left, I think you should focus more on CLAT because CLAT is the exam that is gonna lead you to a good college. And considering you are from science, I don't think you'll be like interested particularly in very like private college. So if you are from science, if you are interested in a good government college for law, I think that you should focus more on CLAT only because I'm repeating myself here that nobody's gonna ask you your board marks when you are in a good law college or in a good government college. Same was with me. Nobody ever asked me my marks in NLS, and it's only the rank that matters. If you are getting a good rank, nobody will even think about what you are getting for board exams. So it's that only. And now to even DU is not accepting board marks, and I've already told you about this. So managing time is important if you want to like. I gather that some people might want to still focus on boards, and so managing time is important. Give at least like, considering you also have boards, so give at least like 10 hours daily for preparation. And out of that 10 hours, like devote equally or give like 70-30 importance, 70 for CLAT, 7 hours for CLAT, and then 3 hours for boards. I think that would suffice because it's only like just have to get 80% to be honest, or 70%. Just like 80, even 70% in science is
good enough considering you are preparing for CLAT also. So yeah, focus more on CLAT only. Don't think much about boards. Nobody's asking you about marks.
Hmm. So just go and enroll yourself with with Success Mantra in you powered by Olive Board CLAT online preparation, and you'll get the complete mentorship from Anish by using Anish coupon code. Along with that, you're getting 5% extra discount. That comprise that you're getting the course with 55% discount. So just go and enroll yourself. You will get mentored by the topper itself, and the topper will guide you to how to become the next topper. So kindly keep this in mind. And yeah, Anish, it was really, really, really I'm like pleased to have a very good interaction with you. Thank you for joining our session, and thank you for motivating all our students. This was all from my side. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming to our platform. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.